Gauri Vedanta Charya Baladev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Shri Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath, Sada Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Srila Sarup Damodar, Rai Ramanandari Gaur Parsada Vrinda ki jai, Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Antar Dvip Mayapur Simanta Dvip Kodram Dvip Madhya Dvip Kola Dvip Rita Dvip Jana Dvip Moda Druma Dvip Ruda Dvip Atmaka Shri Shri Navadvip Dhama Ki Jai Jai Shri Purushottam Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Govardhan Dvada Shavanatmaka Shri Braj Mandala Dham Ki Jai Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Yamuna Ganga Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Radha Gopinath Radha Madan Mohan Jiu Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Raman Radha Damodar Jiu Ki Jai Srimati Lalita Vishaka Adi Ashta Shaki Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Rupa Manjari Rati Manjari Adi Manjari Vrinda Ki Jai Shrimati Brinda Devi Ki Jai Shrimati Purnamasi Yogamaya Devi Ki Jai Shri Gopi Swar Mahadeva Ki Jai Sarva Bhishta Pradata Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Grantaraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Jiyo Ki Jai Jai Bhakti Vigna Vinashana Shri Nrsinga Dev Ki Jai Bhakta Pravara Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Charu Dham Charu Sampradaya Charu Acharya Ki Jai Akara Mat Raj Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai Or Ananya Shaka Mat Samuha Ki Jai Jai Shri Vishwa Vaishnav Raj Sabha Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Tribhuvana Pavana Harinam Samkirtana Ki Jai Tribhuvana Mangala Harinama Prabhu Ki Jai Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Ki Jai Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai Shri Nityananda Mahajana Ki Jai Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Chiradahi Festival of Raghunath Das Goswami under the guidance of Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Pani Hati Chiradahi Festival Ki Jai Jai Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Pada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. And it's also, today is a appearance day of Sri Srimad Bhakti Jivan Acharya Maharaj, not Janardhan Maharaj, just so everybody knows. He's a disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. All right. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kartals Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite na yane babenira. Can you play 1, 2, 3? Sharira 1, 2, 3 1, 2, 3. Shri Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite na yane babenira. Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite na yane babenira. Kabe nitai chander karuna hoibe samsara vasana mor kabe tu chahabe. Can you play 1, 2, 3? It's too overpowering. You have to stay with the mridanga. Arka benitai chander karuna hoibe samsara vasana mor kabe tu chahabe. Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Viman Kabe Hamahe Rabo Shri Vrindavan. Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Viman Kabe Hamahe Rabo Shri Vrindavana. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhuja Bose Jugala Piriti. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhuja Bose Jugala Piriti. Madhavi, do you have the switches turned on so that when the electricity comes on, it comes, you have to have the switches on. Arupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Morayasha Prarthana Karo Ye Sada Narotamodas. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Morayas Prarthana Karo Ye Sada Narotamodas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jataha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vansha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahabhajanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratise Namaha Nityanandam Namastubhyam Prema Ananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulsi Debai Priyai Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Dandavat Pranams to the lotus feet of all of my Sri Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, and I offer my Dandavat Pranams to all of the Vaishnavas and to all of the Vaishnavis, and especially to Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Sajjan Maharaj. So, we will continue, but before we continue with our Manah-siksa today, we have to read the story of the Chiradahi festival of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and how that happened. There's two options in reading this. One is to read a shortened version by Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and the other is to read from the Chaitanya Charitamrita directly, which is quite lengthy and long. Last year, on this day, we were at Chandrasekhar Prabhu's apartment and we had a Chiradahi lasagna festival. That tube light can be turned off. Tube light, the long one. The long bulb is called a tube light. No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Okay. All right, okay. No, that turned on. And the bulb in the bathroom turned off.
It's too much.
Yes. Only the bulb Nothing else, not this bulb, only that bulb. There we go. No, the fan you don't turn off the fan. We want the fan on, full. The fan is off, turn it on. Very simple thing. And turn it up so that it's going on high speed with the turning thing. There are two different ones. I'm talking about that fan there. Should be turned up. I think Maharaj would also like his fan turned up. Okay. Okay, so Srila Bharati Maharaj, he is telling that today is a special titi, and on this day, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, on the orders of Nityananda Prabhu, he celebrated the Chira Dahi Mahotsav in Panihati. So for those of you who are not familiar with the geographic layout here in Navadvip and West Bengal, so if you go south from here, from Navadvip, you go south, and along the Ganga, when you get down to a certain point, not too far, then there is the town called Panihati. And in Panihati also, a great Vaishnava devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu named Raghava Pandit, he had his home there, some distance away from the bank of the Ganga. But this festival took place directly on the bank of the Ganga, and at that time there was a very huge banyan tree under which Lord Nityananda Prabhu was sitting with all of his bhaktas. So at that time, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad came there to Panihati to try to obtain the mercy and the shelter of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So we're going to read about how he was received by Lord Nityananda, what instructions Lord Nityananda Prabhu gave him, and how through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das Goswami was eventually able to escape from all of the watch guards who were surrounding him all the time, because his parents were very frightened that he would suddenly run away from home and he would go to be with Mahaprabhu. But after he received the mercy of Lord Nityananda, there were no more impediments. So, when Srila Raghunath Das Goswami met with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that was earlier, and that was in Shantipur. When he met with him there in Shantipur, with Mahaprabhu, then he thought, oh, how shall I be able to get free from the hands of the watchmen? How shall I be able to go with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Nilachala? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being omniscient, he knew his mind. And so Mahaprabhu instructed him at that time, and he gave him 3 instructions. These are very, very important instructions for the Vaishnavas. And the verses are quoted here from the Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 16, verses 237, 238, and 239. So this is what Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami when Raghunath Das Goswami approached him. So he said, Stira hoya gare jao, na hao batula. Krami krami pai lok bhava sindhu kul. He said to Raghunath Das, be patient. Stira hoy. That means be very patient, steady. And just gare jao, go back to your home. Na hao batula, don't be foolish. Krame pai lok bhava sindhu kul. What does krame mean? Means step by step, sequentially. He said, one can only cross over the material ocean gradually, not suddenly. Gradually. Takes time. So then he said, in the next verse, Mahaprabhu told, Marakata Vairagya na koro lok dekaya. Jata jogya vishay bunja anasakta hoya. So this means that you should not make yourself a show battle devotee. Show battle. And become a false renunciate. So what does show battle mean? Show battle. Here the Bengali is Nakaro lok dekaya. Don't try to show yourself to the people in a particular way as if that is your actual standing. No, don't be false. Mara kata vairagya na. What is a mara kata vairagya? A false renunciate. So the word marakata means a monkey in Bengali. Marakata. What do monkeys do? Well, we have a very great opportunity to observe their behavior in Vrindavan whenever we go there, because they have occupied and taken control of all the rooftops all over Braj, all over Vrindavan. And they climb down from the rooftops, and as they see people walking by on the streets, what do? They jump on the people, steal their glasses, steal whatever's in their hands, and they climb back up. Then they start chewing on them and enticing the people that they should give something to the monkey, and then he will give the object back. Right? So, but not only that, you know, the monkeys, I watched them in all the different seasons in Vrindavan. They just simply tolerate the elements. They tolerate the elements. Do they build nests anywhere? Or do they build any kind of shelter for themselves, the monkeys? Huh? Yes or no? Do monkeys build anything to shelter them? Huh? You don't understand my question? No. No what? Not build. Not build. Then where do they stay?
under the roof.
Yeah, they just go under a tree or under some kind of cement. That's all. What do they do in the winter time? That's when it's raining or when the sun is shining very hot. They just find a place in the shade. But in the winter time, where do they stay? Do they move from the rooftops?
They together gather.
Yes, their whole family huddles together, their bodies very close together on the rooftop, like at Rup Sanatan, Gaudiya Mat. They just huddle together and they survive like that. But what do they do all day long? If you watch the monkeys, you see the biggest of the monkeys. They're always jumping up and down, trying to show their strength. And what else do? They're having sex with the other female monkeys continually, all day long, from morning till evening, morning till evening. That's all they do. They eat and they have sex, and then they sleep. Bas. Of course, they do the four of them. Forget about the defending. Don't forget that. The monkeys have big, huge monkey wars. So the monkey, outwardly, he's just naked. He doesn't even make a shelter for himself. So they're very renounced. They appear to be very renounced, right? The monkeys. Such big renunciates. But are they actually renounced? No. This is only an outward show, because internally, and then it comes out externally, they just have lusty desires. They're lusty monkeys all the time. So Mahaprabhu actually used the word monkey. Don't become a monkey renunciate. He told that to Raghunath Das Goswami. Which means what? Don't try to show yourself externally that you're a renunciate. No. Go home. Don't make a false show bottle. For the time being, he said, Jata Jogya Vishay Bunja Anasakta Hoya. Anasakta Hoya means without being attached. Anasakta Hoya. And what should you do? Vishay Bunja Jata Jogya. Properly, you should go back home for the time being, and you should enjoy the material world in a befitting way, in a proper way. But do not become attached to it. That's the message. Did you hear that? What Mahaprabhu's message is to Raghunath Das Goswami?
Don't attach.
Tell the whole thing. Now, we already told the monkey renunciate thing. Now he's telling him that you should go back home. And you should enjoy according to your position in Varnashram. You're a householder, so you enjoy in your family situation. But internally, don't become attached. Understand? This is Mahaprabhu's instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami, and this is Mahaprabhu's instruction to every single devotee who wants to make spiritual advancement, serious spiritual advancement. The spiritual advancement is not going to be made just by making an outward show of renunciation. False renunciation. No, that will not make you spiritually advanced. You should, according to your true position, you should act in that way. Try to cultivate inwardly attachment to Krishna, attachment to bhakti, attachment to Guru and Vaishnavas. All of these things you should cultivate internally. But externally you can go on in your Varnashram position. But if you try to put on saffron cloth and act outwardly, want to show everyone, oh, just see, I'm a renunciate. Now I put on saffron cloth. This is false. This is false. Because if you're internally, you again want to enjoy with your senses in the material world, but you've put on saffron cloth, and you're at a certain age, you're past your marriage type age, you're past the age when you should start having children, you're past that in your life. And now you should go towards renunciation. But does it mean that going towards renunciation means trying to show outwardly, see, I have saffron cloth? No. Until you are free from those desires, don't try to artificially show bottle, become a monkey renunciate outwardly. Many have tried, many have failed. Have we not seen, Maharaj, in our life? Numerous, innumerable, uncountable numbers. Now, just a small little side discussion about brahmacharya. When our Srila Prabhupada came to the Western countries, were there any brahmacharis? Were there any brahmacharis anywhere in the United States of America? Not one. Not one. Nobody even knew about controlling the sex urge, becoming celibate, going towards Brahma, the supreme absolute truth. No one was a brahmachari. No one knew about that. But when Srila Prabhupada came, then what did he do? He did a radical, extremely radical move. And what did he tell all of his students, his disciples? Once they started to become his disciples, they took initiation. And then what did Prabhupada tell them? There are 4 regulative principles that you must follow in your life. And these 4 regulative principles are connected with the 4 legs of the bull who represents dharma. What are the 4 legs of the bull representing? Yes, Maharaj.
Non-violence, truthfulness, compassion, cleanliness.
Can you flesh that out a bit? What does each one, what do you have to do?
Non-violence means eating meat.
Yeah, only eating?
Or wearing.
No, it means not killing. If you're eating the meat, that means you're killing. Whether you killed it personally or not, you're killing. Yeah. Non-violence, yes.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness? What kind of cleanliness?
Cleanliness by general external by
But what does it mean, internal cleanliness? What does that mean? In the Western countries, nobody understood what internal cleanliness actually means. The heart becomes cleansed of lust, anger, greed, illusion, and all of that. The heart becomes cleansed, therefore the mind also becomes cleansed. But external cleanliness, taking baths. Yes, taking bath. It's amazing when you study the cultural history of the Western world and the different phases, how people would go for like a whole month without taking a bath. Of course, there are circumstances on the Earth planet where it's the coldest place on Earth, someplace in Greenland. I watched a video how they live in the wintertime where they're surrounded by ice. But what they do is that they have trees that grow, and during the warmer season they cut down the trees, and they have wood to burn so that they can get heat. And what do they do for bathing? Russian people know what they do. Come on, Russian devotees, answer. What do they do for bathing? It's called banya. You don't know? Have you ever done banya? How many times in your life have you done banya?
Unlimited.
Uncountable times. And you? Oh,
1,000 times.
1,000 times. You?
I live in Finland. Sauna.
Sauna. Okay, but still. Maharaj, we were deprived. But we had sauna. But if you're living in Southern California, you don't need sauna very often. If you're living up in Badger, then a little bit more, you know. So the cleanliness. So non-violence, cleanliness, and what are the other two legs of the bull? The Dharma.
Also, one should understand by nature, sex destroys everything.
Yeah, but then we're getting to that. What destroys what? So what's the third and the fourth one? Truthfulness, satyam. Truthfulness, okay. And? Yes, doya, mercy. Actually, sometimes the word is kshanti, kshanti, which means tolerance, which means austerity. So austerity is also one of the legs of the bull. Truthfulness, mercy, austerity, and cleanliness. So if someone performs illicit sex, what will that destroy? Cleanliness. Yes. How your mind and heart can be clean if you're doing one of the most sinful and vile activities. Not possible. So therefore, when Srila Prabhupada came to the West, where there was very little any kind of principles, except religious people had some degree of principles of staying married and not going outside of marriage like this, to control the sex desire and to have children. But the actual situation for the human being who wants to become perfect is that they fully control the sex urge throughout their whole life, but they do it appropriately. When they're brahmachari, no sex. When they're grihastha, regulated sex. When they're vanaprastha, no sex. When they're sannyasi, no sex. So 3 of the 4 ashramas, no. 0. And in household life, regulated with one's wife and husband. For what purpose? To have children. To have children. That's the purpose. That's the purpose that Krishna has created, not just in human beings, but in all the species, their mating tendencies to reproduce, you see. So in this way, the 4 legs of the bull represent the 4 pillars of Dharma. And the 4 activities of sinful life are what? Eating of meat, fish, or eggs. Eating of meat, fish, or eggs. Then what? What else? There are 4 regulated principles.
Poison.
What?
Poison, drink alcohol.
What? Poison?
All drugs.
Poison.
Drugs.
No. Intoxication. Drugs, even coffee and tea, cigarettes, BDs, marijuana, all different types of drugs. This is all sinful, very extremely sinful. And when Prabhupada came to the West, it was the era when the culture was opening up completely to people being constantly intoxicated, constantly having illicit sex, not bathing, and eating meat, fish, eating anything practically. So when Srila Prabhupada came to the West, he introduced practically for the first time, the 4 regulative principles of spiritual life, which are necessary in order to become what? A human being and a non-animal. Those who cannot follow this are still animals according to the Vedas. If someone cannot follow no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. Gambling is the 4th one, which is hinging on satyam, truthfulness. So, if they cannot follow, then they're still categorized as animals. Pashu means animal. So they're not humans yet. Srila Prabhupada gave the method for people that have human bodies to become human beings. And then he said, chanting 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra every day. This was his prescription. This is the prescription and always will be for all the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's minimal. But that was prescribed by Srila Prabhupada, and then full engagement, 24 hours. On that little list that Prabhupada wrote in his own handwriting, you probably heard the story, that the morning after Prabhupada gave the initiation, had the first initiation ceremonies with his disciples there at 26 2nd Avenue in New York. After he opened up the storefront and after some time, he gave initiation. The next morning, when they woke up, it was posted there on the doorway. We can actually look it up on Google, but it was posted there. What are the duties of those who have taken initiation? And there Prabhupada listed those 4 regulated principles, chanting 16 rounds, and then he gave about 4 or 5 other. Do you remember what they were? No frivolous sports. No frivolous sports. And one must attend morning and evening artik and kirtan.
Frivolous sports, what means?
What?
Frivolous sports.
Frivolous means just for the sake of playing around. Waste of time. Like in the Western world, they've made entire industries out of throwing balls of different sizes. Balls of different sizes. Throwing them, kicking them. Or hitting them with a big stick. Or hitting them with a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. And there are others also. But the whole Western culture, because it's devoid of what? It's devoid of spiritual nectar and bliss. And therefore people have to find their happiness from mundane rasa. What is that rasa? Oh, we won and they lost and how great we are. It's a mundane rasa. That's also there in Goloka Vrindavan. The cowherd boys, they fight with one another, they wrestle, and they win, and they broadcast. So that's a rasa in the spiritual world. But in the material world, it's a perverted rasa. Even surfing on the water. I'm reading that right now in Govinda Dasi's memoirs. How Srila Prabhupada, for the first time, he saw people that were surfing. And he said, what are these people doing? This is in New Jersey, actually. In New Jersey. Because he became sick and then they found a place first in New Jersey, not in San Francisco area. It was the summertime. And what? No, not in Hawaii, not at all. No. But he saw them. You know, they were taking, because he would go for his morning walk near to the ocean. They found him a cottage right on the ocean. And so people were going on surfboards and standing up and doing all that. Prabhupada said, what are they doing? And then they told Prabhupada, oh Prabhupada, this is called surfing. He said, surfing? Oh, what? You mean suffering? No, Prabhupada, surfing. No, they are suffering. And then Prabhupada told us that actually they are suffering, but they're trying to enjoy externally like this in illusion. Anyway, so I was telling all this because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling Raghunath Das Goswami not to become a false renunciate, Marakata Vairagi, monkey renunciate, but Jata Jogya Vishai Bunja Anasakta Hoya. Go to back to your home. You're in household life. Your parents are very wealthy. Raghunath Das Goswami, don't try to suddenly cross over the material ocean. It's not possible. Krame, gradually, step by step. Krame, pai lok bhava sindhu kul. Only gradually can you go across the bhava sindhu, this materialistic ocean. And stira hoya gare jao nahao batula. Don't be a fool. Just be steady and patient and return home. This is when Raghunath Das Goswami first met Mahaprabhu. And at that time he was trying to leave home, but his wealthy parents were keeping him entrapped there with guards and everything. So, do not make a show of renunciation like a monkey. In other words, it is the nature of a monkey to exhibit renunciation. We talked all about it. To exhibit renunciation externally and to enjoy inwardly. So therefore, Mahaprabhu is instructing Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to act just like an ordinary person externally, but without any attachment within. Now, the third and last verse that is quoted here, that Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami, he said, Antare nishta karo, bahye lok vyavahar. Achirat Krishna tomai karibe udhar. So he said, internally, develop staunch faith in who? In Sri Krishna. Internally, you should develop this nishta, staunch faith in Krishna. But externally, lok vyavahar, carry out your worldly responsibilities in such a way that no one can detect your inner mood. So if you act like this, Sri Krishna will very quickly deliver you from material existence. Achirat Krishna tomai karibe udhar. He will deliver you very soon, very quickly. So, after Raghunath Das Goswami heard these instructions from Mahaprabhu, he returned home, and then externally he gave much attention to the household activities, as Mahaprabhu had instructed. So eventually his father and his uncle, they became satisfied by his behavior, and then, suspecting that his mind had become steady, they assumed that he was no longer inclined to run away from home. Now, Nityananda Prabhu arrives at Panihati. That is what we're reading today. This Panihati festival, Chiradahi festival. How many of you have been to Panihati? Did you ever go? Panihati? Huh? You did? Yes? Hey, you went? You don't know. Okay. Probably not. So, now Raghunath Das Goswami, following the instructions of Mahaprabhu to travel and preach. Who is that? Who was following the instructions of Mahaprabhu to travel and preach? Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu told, Mahaprabhu told Nityananda that now you should travel and preach. Don't come every year to Puri. But still, Nityananda Prabhu would mostly come. But he would go back and he would spend all of his time preaching here in West Bengal. How do I tighten this? How is it tight? What? You're moving this. Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, so Nityananda Prabhu, he came with associates from Puri to reside at Raghava Pandit's house in Panihati. You can still go there. His house is kept there as a memorial. They have very beautiful pictures. They're relief figures on the wall, very large, showing, do you know what they're showing there? Do you remember? They're extremely beautifully made, showing how the group of devotees who would walk all the way to Jagannath Puri in a group, followers of Mahaprabhu, they would carry on their heads all the different preparations they had made for Mahaprabhu, which would last a whole year, and many other provisions they would carry on their heads. And these relief figures, they're showing their eyes and their moods, and they are so blissed out. Just the looks on their faces and how they're relishing and tasting all internally their vision of Mahaprabhu, how they're going to Puri, how they will be with Mahaprabhu. Very beautiful to see there at Raghava Pandit's house. So Nityananda Prabhu came there to reside there. And then the news reached to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. It reached Raghunath Das Goswami as his residence was not far from this place, that Raghava Pandit's house. So one was on the eastern side and the other was on the western side of the Ganga. So immediately Srila Raghunath Das Goswami came for Nityananda Prabhu's darshan. Now, when Raghava Pandit introduced Raghunath Das Goswami to Nityananda Prabhu, saying, "Oh, this is Raghunath who is offering pranams." Where was Raghunath Das Goswami standing? At a long distance away. There were hundreds and thousands of people surrounding Nityananda Prabhu there, underneath the banyan tree. And Raghava Pandit gestured to Nityananda that, "Oh, see there in the distance? Raghunath Das Goswami has come. He's paying his pranams." How did Nityananda Prabhu respond? Nityananda Prabhu responded, he said, "You chor! You chor! You thief! You always try to stay away at a distant place, but today I have caught you." So Srila Bharati Maharaj says, when a householder catches a thief, what do they do to the thief? What does a householder do when they catch a thief? He becomes very angry and he punishes that thief. So now Nityananda Prabhu said, "So now I will punish you. And you will have to take this punishment." What is it? You have to feed all my associates with chipped rice and yogurt. Chiradahi. So now Raghunath Das, he became very happy to hear Lord Nityananda's command. Then he sent his own men to purchase and to collect all varieties of edibles. And he also came there, when he initially came from his father's house, he came there with huge sums of money to celebrate the festival. His father and his uncle, they were not miserly at all when it came to serving in this way. What, Maharaj?
I'm curious, that is from West Bengal, East Calcutta. Have you ever been to the Chiruvadi festival?
So Raghunath Das Goswami's father and uncle, they were not miserly when it came to serving in this way. there was no bar on spending at all. As long as Srila Raghunath Das Goswami remained at home, they would spend any amount of money. Now the news spread all over. It spread the news. What news? That Govardhan Majumdar's son is celebrating Chiradahi Mahotsav. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, now he brought milk, yogurt, bananas, dates, oranges, sugarcane, and other edibles, as well as pots. He had one rule. What was the rule? That he would pay whatever the quoted price was. Whatever the vendor was saying, here's the price, he would not try to bargain at all. That was his rule. Then Nityananda Prabhu saw that a great quantity of products they had arrived. Yogurt and milk, generally you don't mix them together, do you? No, you don't. Generally you don't mix yogurt and milk together in Vedic, methods of cooking and eating and all of that. So, but because there were huge amounts, huge quantities, both had to be well utilized. So, therefore what they did was, they took in each of the earthen pots, they had all different sizes, some huge, gigantic, smaller, all different sizes of these earthen pots. So what they did was first of all, they boiled the milk, so that some of the milk became condensed. They did that. Then half of the soaked chipped rice, the chira, and half of it was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. And then the other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana called champakala. Do you know that one? Champakala. Then sugar, ghee, and camphor were added, as well as dates and other fruits and sweets. This is called, what's the term used for this type of preparations and feasting? It's called Malsa Bhog. Have you heard that before? Malsa Bhog. So everyone was given 2 pots. Because they have 2 hands, so they're given 2 pots. And one was of the variety that had the condensed milk and one with the yogurt. So, now the festival grew so huge. People came from all directions. Probably like lakhs and lakhs of people. So this big, huge gathering of people that was there was practically no place to stand on the banks of the Ganga there. So therefore some stood inside the river, up to their knees or waist or whatever, and they ate with the pots in their hands. Trying to figure out how exactly they did that, But where there's a will, there's a way. And necessity is the what? Mother of invention. So, although they had 2 hands and they had 2 pots in the hands and they're standing in the water, they figured out a way. So, yes. So, then, at that time, Raghava Pandit arrived there. And when he saw the situation that was going on, he began to laugh in great surprise. And he said to Nityananda Prabhu, he says, "Oh Nitai, I have prepared your offerings at my home, but you are having an utsav here?" So then Nityananda Prabhu replied, "Yes, we are cowherds, and we love to do Pulin Bojan, picnic by the bank of the river. So you should sit here, and you should honor some prasad as well. And I will take the offering at your home in the evening, not now." So then, you know what happened next? Nityananda Prabhu called Mahaprabhu to come there, from Jagannath Puri. He can do that. Nityananda can make Mahaprabhu appear anywhere at any time. So there, in the presence of thousands and lakhs of people, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invoked there in the meditation of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. He came from Puri, but could all the people see him? No. The people in general, they couldn't see or they couldn't notice him. But what they saw, there's like a painting done in the Chaitanya Charitamrita ISKCON, the ISKCON version of Chaitanya Charitamrita, of how Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu are walking up and down the lines of the devotees who are sitting and eating. And Nityananda Prabhu is gesturing like this, but nobody knows what he's doing. And actually what Nityananda Prabhu was doing was he was putting the food, the prasadam, in Mahaprabhu's mouth. And Mahaprabhu would then take and put into Nityananda Prabhu's mouth. So in this way, this mystical presence of Mahaprabhu was invoked by Nityananda Prabhu. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took food little by little from both of the pots, and then he wandered amongst the devotees observing everything. So in this way, a grand festival was organized. Now, as any sacrifice, if you want to do a yajna, any sacrifice, it will be considered worthless, that sacrifice, if you don't do certain things. What are those things that you must do? You must have mantras chanted, and there must also be dakshina being offered. Mantrahinam adakshinam. What is dakshinam? Donations to the devotees, to the Vaishnavas. So now, after feeding all of the devotees, then Srila Raghunath Das Goswami asked Raghava Pandit for guidance. To do what? To ascertain how much dakshin should be given to each person. Why? Because if he were to give everyone equally, then it would constitute a violation of the etiquette. So there's a kirtan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in which Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Sakale saman korite shakati, deho nat jata jata. What does that mean? It means, O Gurudev, give me the power, the Shakti, to honor all the jivas, all the living entities, according to what? Jata jata. According to their due. What they are due. What kind of level of respect should be given to them. So thus, Raghava Pandit made the list showing the names of all the different associates of Mahaprabhu and categorizing and showing how much exact amount was to be donated to each and every devotee. Now, accordingly, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami offered 2 tolas of gold and 100 gold coins in the hands of Nityananda Prabhu's sevak as dakshin to be distributed among all the assembled devotees as per the list. So how much is a tola, you know? How much is a tola? That's a certain weight. Yeah. Okay. I know, yeah. Tola. That's the term used in Chaitanya Charitamrita. 2 tolas of gold. And in addition to that, 100 gold coins. I mean, nowadays, 100 gold coins would be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Yeah.
11.7 grams, 1 dollar.
Oh. Yeah, so it's less than a pound, and it's less than a kilo. Yeah, 11.7 grams. Okay. Anyway, 100 tolas. Sorry, not 100 tolas. Wait.
27 grams.
He gave 2 tolas of gold and 100 gold coins. So that's the amount. Now, in the end of this whole festivities, Then Raghunath Das Goswami prayed to Nityananda Prabhu, and he approached him and he said, Prabhu, I don't like this samsara, and I want freedom from material bondage. Then Nityananda Prabhu placed his divine feet on the head of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, being very pleased with his service mood and his attitude towards the Vaishnavas. And then he told to Raghunath Das Goswami, Guchila Bandhana, you shall no longer be bound in this material world. Your connection with samsara has been severed. You have no material entanglements now. But Srila Raghunath Das Goswami responded, but I am being guarded day and night. How can I escape? Then Nityananda Prabhu reassured him, very soon, without impediments, you will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why the song that we're singing each day now, at the beginning of our class, Gauranga Bolite Habe, it's telling there that Narottam Das Thakur is telling us, without the mercy of Nitai Chand, no one can get out of this samsara. Arkabe Nitai Chander Karuna Hoibe. When his mercy will come to me, then samsara vasana more. Kabe tucha habe. My vasanas. This is the problem. The problem is not the samsara. It's not being in the samsara. That's not the problem. The problem is your vasanas. Your vasana to be in the samsara, trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's the problem. So Nityananda Prabhu told him, your problem's now gone. It has been removed. Very soon you will gain release. So, now in this context, Srila Bharati Maharaj tells something very interesting. He always has very interesting remarks in his katha. And here's a short, very short explanation of a thing that is an Ayurvedic remedy, which is called anupan. Do you know what anupan is? Now you're going to learn. Now, within a few days, after Nityananda Prabhu told, within a few days, an opportunity arose of its own accord for Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to be able to escape to Jagannath Puri. We all have heard that story, how his guru came, Yadunandanacharya, and he had a problem with a pujari who left the temple. So at that point, they allowed, the guards and everyone, they allowed Raghunath Das Goswami to walk with his guru into the forest to go there to that temple. And midway, Raghunath Das turned to his guru and said, Guruji, give me your blessings, I am now going. And then he began running. I mean, when you hear, it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the incredible journey of Raghunath Das Goswami. Here's a prince who's barely done any kind of hard labor in his life, and now he is trying to escape, and he knows that if he tries to escape along the regular roads, then he'll be caught, because he already tried that a number of times, and the guards, they found him, they brought him back by force. So therefore he went off of all the main roads, and he began running and running and running pretty much non-stop. How many days did it take him to reach Puri? By walking, how long does it generally take? 1 month. How long did it take Raghunath Das Goswami? 9 days. Yes, and he rested along the way, and he rested in cow barns, and he rested in different places. And did he eat every day? No. Some days he had some milk from a cow, some days nothing. Yes. And he succeeded. And he was weeping and crying in anticipation of meeting Mahaprabhu continually, non-stop, the whole way. So when he did arrive in Puri and Mahaprabhu saw him, and then he told to Govinda, his personal servant, and to Sarup Damodar Goswami, let him eat fully the next 3 days, fully, and just rest like that. But he blessed Raghunath Das Goswami. You know what he told him? He told him, Krishna has been very merciful to you. What did he tell him just before that? Like a year before? He told him, don't be a monkey renunciate. Completely different instructions, but he followed those instructions, and now Mahaprabhu is accepting him, and he's telling him, you are very fortunate because Krishna has delivered you from a pit of stool. A full, deep pit of stool that you had fallen into, and you were sunk down in this pit of stool. And what is that pit of stool?
Well,
What? What is the pit of stool?
well,
Not wealth. No, not wealth. You think wealth is a pit of stool?
I mean, well.
No, you have to be specific when you answer questions. Not wealth. That's not the pit of stool. What is the pit of stool? Being sunk in materialistic household life, trying to enjoy with deep attachment. That's the pit of stool. Did Prahlad Maharaj inform us about that pit? He didn't call it a pit of stool, he called it a what? Andakupam. Dark well, that you fall down and then you can't get out of the well. Okay? But Mahaprabhu called it a pit of stool. And he said, Krishna has been very merciful to you. But can you come out of that pit of stool before you're ready to come out? Hello? Can you come out of the pit of stool before you're ready to come out? Which means what? That you give it up. You give it up. First you have to give it up. How? Internally you have to give it up gradually. Then when you're ready, then you can make your escape. Krishna will arrange it directly. So, now, there's a thing called Anupan. It's in relation to this. Why was Raghunath Das Goswami able to escape to Jagannath Puri? Srila Bharati Maharaj says this is because Srila Raghunath Das Goswami had taken the appropriate Anupan of the Vaishnava Seva in order to go. Now you're going to learn what is Anupan. Anupan is a liquid that is advised either before or along with or after the intake of an Ayurvedic medicine. Medicine works best only when it is complemented with the recommended Anupan. Ayurvedic practitioners, Kavirajas, they insist on one's taking Anupan. Now he tells the story. Once the Nawab of Dhaka, very big position, he was suffering with an extreme condition in which his whole body was burning like fire. He tried all allopathic medicines to no avail. So he came to consult Shyamdas Kaviraj in Kolkata. The Kaviraj felt his pulse and he says, I cannot treat you because it is very difficult to find the specific Anupan. He was very disappointed, the Nawab, and he was returning by the boat in which he had traveled there. So the Nawab was going back. But while he was on the boat, he noticed a poisonous snake drinking rainwater that had collected in a skull, a human skull. Got that? A poisonous snake drinking rainwater that had accumulated in a skull. Yes. So then what? As his companions were asleep, he stepped out to drink the water from the skull, thinking, even if I die by drinking this, it doesn't matter. It is better to die than suffer like this. But soon, he felt some relief from the burning sensation in his body. So he returned to the Kaviraj, who told him, now I can treat you, and you can be cured because you have taken the appropriate anupan. If any poisonous snake drinks rainwater accumulated in the skull of a man who has recently passed away, and if such leftover water is consumed, only then my medicine will work for your specific health condition. So now that Nawab of Dhaka was eventually cured, and he built a 2-storied house for Shyamdas Kaviraj, and he cited how effective his treatment was. And he also instituted a hospital by the name Ashtanga Ayurvedic Hospital. Now, Mahaprabhu's Sevaks from Shrikanda, they used to administer such treatments. So there is a mention of these Vaidyas in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 10. It says, Chikitsa koren jare hoya sadoy deha rog bhava rog duitar kshoy. This means, as Murari Gupta was treating his patients, Murari Gupta, one of your favorite places over there, as he was treating his patients, then by his mercy, although he was a Kaviraj, a doctor, by his mercy, when he was treating his patients, both their bodily diseases and their spiritual diseases subsided both. So these Vaidyas are devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They do not take money from the treatment of sadhus, mahatmas, and brahmanas. I have taken many patients to them. Their consultation and their medicines, they're both free. Now, he tells one more little story. When our Guru Maharaj was a brahmachari, that means Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj, who was named Hayagriva Das Brahmachari, when he was a brahmachari, he once visited one such Vaidya for consultation and for medicine, for both himself and for Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. Now during that visit, he told the doctor that he himself was to undergo an operation for a hernia. Very common. Now the Vaidya checked his pulse. And he said, you don't have to undergo an operation right now. There is time. So first try taking my medicine. Now he wrote the prescription, and the medicinal herbs and the roots were brought from the market, and they were boiled in 4 liters of water until the water was reduced to 1 liter. Then the concoction was strained, and milk and sugar, mishri, were added. The Bandari had prepared it, and as Guru Maharaj drank it, little by little he enjoyed the taste. He consumed the whole thing. And then he went to the latrine. Everything was cleared. When Guru Maharaj returned to the doctor reported, you have no hernia. Only your stools had merely hardened, and they had dried, and they had formed into knots. So, likewise, in the world of Hari Bhakti, treatment is needed. And what is the treatment? It is sadhu seva. Sadhu seva. So it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse 2. You know this verse. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimuktes tamodvaram yoshitam sangi sangam mahantaste samachitta prashanta vimanya vasho hridasadavoye. Who spoke this verse? Lord Rishabdev to his sons in the 5th canto. He said there, Mahat Sevam, service to the Mahat, Dvaram Ahur Vimuktes. This is the open door to liberation. To serve sadhus is the open door to liberation. But there's the opposite door as well. Tamo Dvaram. Tamo Dvaram means the door that plunges one more and more into what? Tamagun. And what is that door? Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. What does that mean? Do you know? You know? Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. You know, Maharaj? Yoshitam means women. The association of women for what? For material sense gratification. That's called Yoshit. Yoshitam. But, and that for the women, that means men. It's the opposite for the women. That is the Tamodwaram. But there's one more category. Sangi Sangam. Not only with the women, but to associate with those who are attached to the women. Like this. So, then he mentions about who are the real Mahatmas. Mahantas, Mahat Sevam, Mahant. Mahantas te samachitta prashanta. One can take the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities, here, this is Prabhupada's translation of this verse, they may be impersonalists or also devotees, but they're Mahantas. So whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or he desires to associate with the personality of God himself, one should render service to the Mahatmas. And for those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, then the path to hell is wide open. Path to hell. Yes. The Mahatmas are, what are their qualities? They're very equipoised. Samachitta. Samachitta means they're very equipoised. Samachitta prashanta. They're very peaceful. Yes. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and they are fully engaged in devotional service. So they are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. So here now he's concluding, Srila Bharati Maharaj is concluding his presentation, and he says, the door to liberation from material bondage, it can be opened by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. And what is the door to hell? Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. It means association with women or with those who are too attached to women. This is the door to hell. So it is necessary to not associate with such people. So again, I'm repeating so that everybody understands this clearly. This Yoshitam Sangi Sangam, it is not in the category of associating with the opposite sex for the service of Krishna. This is not in that category. So associating with either the opposite sex or the same sex for the service of Krishna is equal. But if one is associating with the opposite sex for the purpose of mundane materialistic sense gratification, then you're on the pathway to hell. And if you're associating surrounded by people that are completely attached to this, you're also on the pathway to hell. So, therefore, there are strict rules in the Vedic system that one should be very careful about this kind of association. So, and then he says, he quotes one more verse before he finishes. He says, Na tatasya bhaven moho. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 31st chapter. Na tatasya bhaven moho bandhaschanya prasangata yoshit sangad yata pungso yata tatsangi sangataha. So here is a very clear statement that the infatuation and the bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to any other object in this world, it is not, that bondage is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. But the material world, the people throughout, they don't know this. They are uneducated. They don't realize this. But soon, Mahaprabhu's mercy is coming. So therefore, Srila Bharati Maharaj concludes by saying, yes, today Srila Raghunath Das Goswami celebrated the Chiradari Mahotsav. So, we are remembering this. So even to this day, the Chiradari Mahotsav is celebrated in Panihati. And although no one is invited separately, but all the mutts, they all observe this day. And whoever comes to the mutt is offered Mahaprasad. Gaur Premanandi. Srila Nityananda Rama ki jai. Jai Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pada ki jai. Chiradahi Mahotsav Festival of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Pani Hati ki jai. Raghava Pandit ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Okay, so we have completed today's class. Our next class is not on Sunday, on Saturday. On Saturday, why? Because Saturday is the big day. Do you know what the big day is on Saturday? On our Vaishnav calendar? The big day? It is Purnima, Snana Yatra of Lord Jagannath. Yes. And 2 disappearance days, Sri Mukunda Datta and Sri Sridhar Pandit, 2 associates of Mahaprabhu. So instead of usually doing the Sunday, we'll do it on Saturday, day after tomorrow. So we'll just chant one short kirtan and then we'll complete today's class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Haribo, Haribo. Nitai Gaur, Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Shiradahi Maha Mahotsav Festival Ki Jai, Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Gauranga Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Vrindai Tulsidev Bhai Priyai Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Did you have breakfast this morning at the temple? They made chiradahi. Yeah, this morning.